rate that your fingernails grow, that's about the speed that continents drift across Earth's surface.
This video is completely wrong to some extent, and we're going to prove it with some very simple mathematics and biology. Now, the cells that produce your nails are usually known as keratinocytes. These cells have an average diameter of approximately 0.01 millimeters. These cells usually multiply at approximately 10 times, roughly 9-10 times per day. So if you get the calculation at which your nails are growing per day, that gives you 0.01 times 10 averagely. That gives you 0.1 millimeters per day. Now, these your nails usually grow at varying rates. So at some point they might grow faster, at some point they might grow slower. Now, the range that is usually accepted globally is approximately 0.1 millimeters per day to 0.3 millimeters per day. Calculate the rate at which your nails are growing per year. So if you're using 0.1 millimeters, that gives you approximately 6 millimeters per year. Now, assuming your nails are growing at the maximum speed of around 0.3 millimeters per day, let's get 0.3 millimeters per day, multiply that times 30 days, that gives you 9 millimeters per day. Then multiply that times 12, that gives you approximately 108 millimeters per year. When it comes to tectonic drifts and tectonic plates, the plates averagely move at a rate of approximately 2 centimeters to 10 centimeters per year. If you have to do the calculation, 5 centimeters per year converting to millimeters per year, that is 5 times 10, that gives you 50 millimeters per year. Now, if you have to do the comparison, let's say your fingernails are growing at 6 millimeters per year, that is 0.1 millimeter per day, that you realize that the comparison is completely wrong, because 6 millimeters per year is almost half that speed, you know. Now, if your nails are, for example, growing at a rate of let's say 100 millimeters, 108 millimeters per year, then you realize that is almost twice the rate at which the plates are separating or drifting away from each other. Now, what is even more interesting is that different tectonic plates move away at different speeds. So, for example, the South American plate tends to move away at approximately 10 millimeters per year. When you come to the North American plate, it is drifting away at around 23 millimeters a year. 23 millimeters a year. Now, if you do the comparison, for example, the South American plate is 10 millimeters a year, and your nails are growing at around 36 millimeters per year, and that is the rate at which it is growing on a minimum, then you realize that is almost 3 times that rate, you know. And if you are doing, for example, the calculation, for example, for the cocos plate, which is around 75 millimeters per year, then you realize that is almost twice the amount your nails are growing at, or even less the amount at which your nails are growing out.